some of the things that I'm going to talk about in today's training, or wake-up call, I should say, it's going to be a wake-up call for everybody who's listening right now, whether you're listening on the actual wake-up call you're dialing in, maybe you're listening to us on your computer, maybe you are on Facebook Live, because I'm actually streaming this live on Facebook right now. So wherever you are listening in from, I'm pretty sure that this morning you are definitely going to get a wake-up call after I'm done with you guys. Because anytime I do these wake-up calls, I always want to make sure that I over-deliver and just give you, tons of value so that you can actually walk away and start implementing in your business. And that's why I love doing these wake-up calls. So I was inspired to do this call after reading a book by David Allen. It's called Getting Things Done. And basically in this book, he talks about the 2-minute rule, which just basically means if you have tasks that can get done in 2 minutes or less, do them now. Okay, so let me repeat that. If you have tasks that can get done in 2 minutes or less, do them now. You see, because many of us, we're basically all over the place. I mean, let's just keep it real here, right? We're all over the place. We're doing so many different things. We have so many different things going on. We have all of our social media accounts that we want, to update consistently 2 or 3 times a day, maybe even sometimes more for some people. We have to-do lists, up to the wazoo, okay, that consist of, many of our to-do lists, and including myself sometimes if I don't, keep it in check. But we have to-do lists that consist of, just a ton of non-income producing activities, funnels that we want to create, videos that we want to shoot, blog posts that we want to write, or whatever else, that you put on that list. But the problem is that we procrastinate and then we never get any of it done, because the idea of doing it and finishing all of these tasks, that we've created for ourselves, it overwhelms us. And because we know it, right? Before we know it, a whole day just basically has passed by us, and nothing, or, very little of it actually got done. Okay. So then on top of that, you have, personal things that you have to do. You have dishes that need to be done, or laundry that needs to be done. And you still haven't unpacked from your vacation that you came back from 2 weeks ago. Right. So let me ask you, if all of these things need to get done, then why are you browsing the internet and doing this, or you're going over here and doing that, and not focusing on the things that actually need to get done? Ask yourself why. We procrastinate for a variety of reasons, right? Subconsciously, and maybe even things that we make up in our own mind ourselves, right? We can, we suffer from things like anxiety, or perfectionism, or a lack of motivation, a lack of guilt, poor decision making, right? And some of us wear out procrastination like a badge of honor, okay? We wear it like a badge of honor. And now you've probably heard the term, you've probably even read the book. I think it was Brian Tracy, Eat That Frog, or Eat the Frog, or maybe it was Eat That Frog. I can't remember exactly. I don't have it in front of me, but there's a book called Eat That Frog. And really what it means is to get the biggest tasks done before you start anything else. Complete the biggest task before you start anything else. And yes, it's a great philosophy. However, I found that getting, a few 2-minute tasks, maybe even a few 5-minute tasks done first, maybe like 5 to 10 2-minute tasks or something like that. If you can do that, what that's going to do is it's first of all, it makes me feel like I've accomplished more in the day, right? Before I even started working on the big tasks, or, the big tasks, plural, okay? Because some of us actually create big tasks for ourselves, and we don't have to. And I'll show you today how you can, kind of eliminate those big tasks as well. So what does that look like, right? What does maybe 5 2-minute bursts of, things to do, things to get done, things to, check off that list before you actually start working on the bigger task, eating the frog. What does it look like? So I'll give 5 examples so you can just kind of get an idea. So the first one might be something like taking 2 minutes to wash the dishes, or taking 2 minutes to throw the clothes in the washer, or taking 2 minutes to draft or even send out your email for the day, or taking 2 minutes to, update your social media sites, or taking 2 minutes to, shoot a 2-minute video for a blog post. It could be a variety of things, right? So you see, just in that example, you can see that I got more done in 10 minutes before I actually ate the frog. And each time you follow that 2-minute concept or rule, right? The rule, what you're doing is you're unlocking the power of quick wins. Quick wins. And that makes you feel good. It makes you feel good when you sit back, you just knocked out 5 2-minute tasks, and you sit back and you're like, yes, I finally got rid of all these little things that I needed to do. Now it's time to focus. So you got big, you unlock the power of the quick wins. And every time you finish a task, what you're basically doing is you're gaining momentum. And that makes it easier to conquer the next one, the next big task, or even the next small task. So as you can see in these examples that I just shared with you, following the 2-minute rule is going to leave you better off and further ahead of, just for the day. And if you do this every single day, imagine where you would be, at the end of the week, or the end of the month, or even the end of the year. Okay? Time's precious, and every single moment counts. Your world, our world, is full of more opportunities than you can possibly, pursue. It's impossible to do everything. But if you can focus on getting just a small little 2-minute task done, you will be much further ahead than the average person. I can promise you that. Okay, so let's take a step further on that. Let's just move a little bit further on that. We talked about the idea of knocking out 2-minute tasks, maybe 5 or 10 2-minute tasks for the day. But let's dig a little deeper now. What if you outsourced some of those tedious tasks on your list, some of those things, those 2-minute tasks on your list that you didn't even have to do yourself, you didn't have to be there, that you could remove yourself from that task? The ones that are, most of the time, it's the ones that are non-income producing activities, right? You don't have to write your own emails. You don't have to update your own social media accounts. It's things like that. You have to shoot your own video, but then there's other things that you might be doing that you don't necessarily have to do. So what if you outsourced some of those tasks? Can you imagine how much more time you can spend doing, other things that are income producing activities, like maybe creating content and, putting out your ideas on paper so that you can, make them, come into reality, prospecting, maybe even calling your leads. Let me give you an example of what I do so that you can get just kind of an idea of some of the things that might be on your list right now that you don't have to do yourself, that you can outsource to someone else. Okay. So for example, some of the things that I outsource is video editing. Okay. The next one is uploading my videos to YouTube and adding SEO to them. I don't have to do that. All I needed to do was shoot the video, give it to my assistant. She edits it. She uploads it to YouTube. She throws the SEO on it, whatever. Right. I didn't have to do that. Maybe it's something, another thing that I do is adding what she does, another thing that I outsource and what she does is she adds my videos to my blog post and she creates a blog post around that video. She also syndicates my content for me. So you see, I just threw out, what was that, 4 examples of some of the things that many of you are probably doing right now. You're wasting all this time editing your own videos. You're wasting all this time uploading your own videos to YouTube and waiting for it to render. And then you're putting, the keywords and the descriptions. And then you're, taking that video and putting it on your blog post, and you're creating a blog post, and you're creating the banners, and you're creating the images and stuff like that. And you're putting a call to actions, and you're trying to, move this here and get this right. And, you're just doing all of these things. You're trying to get your content out to social media. All that stuff has to get done, of course. But the question is, do you have to do it? Do you have to be the one doing those tedious things that are non-income producing activities? That all that stuff that I just mentioned, some of the things that I outsource, all of that stuff is admin work. Admin work does not pay the bills. That's why there's, jobs out there called administrative assistants. Okay. Are you an administrative assistant? Because if you're not, then you really should not be doing those things. You should not be doing those things. So what I just shared with you is just a few examples. And many of you are probably, you can't, afford an assistant right now, maybe, right? But maybe you can. Let me give you another example. I pay my assistant, $4.50 an hour. Okay. I got her from Upwork.com. That's UPWORK.com, Upwork.com. She's from the Philippines. She's been working with me for about a year now. And she has been the best investment into my business. Notice how I said investment and I didn't say an expense. See, there is a difference between an investment and an expense. She's not an expense to me. What's an expense to me is if I was doing all that stuff myself. Time is expensive. But outsourcing is an investment. So let's do some math. If you got someone to help you for, let's say, even $4 an hour, I pay my girl $4.50. But let's just say you got somebody to do some of the stuff that, you don't have to do it yourself. You can outsource it, and you only pay them $4 an hour. And they worked, let's say another example. They worked for you for 2 hours a day. Okay, so let's do the math. That's $8 a day. What's that? 40 hours a week if they work five days a week for you, maybe Monday through Friday. That's $160 a month. So you just paid, or I should say invested, $160 a month so that you can have 40 hours per month of free time for you to focus on the things that you need to be focusing on, the income producing activities. Now, do you think it's worth the investment? Heck yeah. Best investment ever. Best investment ever. Okay, and by the way, my girl works for me 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours at night, and I literally have her doing everything that I don't have to do. That's $540 a month that I pay her. And she's happy to do the work for that price because in the Philippines, that's a lot of money. Okay, that's a lot of money. So don't be afraid, make a list of all the things that need to get done. As a matter of fact, take a piece of paper. Here's your assignment, because I always love to give assignments. Here's an assignment. Take a piece of paper, draw a line right down the middle. On the left side, you're going to write down everything in your business that needs to get done. Every little tedious task, every big giant task, or all the 2-minute tasks that could get done. Write everything down. Literally brain dump. On the left-hand side of the page. On the right-hand side of the page, at the top, you're gonna write outsource. And what you're gonna do is you're going to move all of the things from the left side to the right side of the page, and you're gonna scratch them off the left side of that list. And so now you're gonna have a list on the right side, and what you're gonna do is you're going to outsource every single thing on the right side of that page. You're going to outsource that to someone from Upwork.com. And the only thing that you're going to focus on is everything that is left over on the left-hand side. That's what you're going to do. So that's your homework assignment for today. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was. And even if you're watching this on a live stream right now on Facebook, let me know what your biggest takeaway was inside of the comments below. And also be sure to get that book that I mentioned earlier by David Allen called Getting Things Done. That's all I have for you guys. Go out there and crush it and have an amazing day.